blackness.
Black girl magic, a classic. Some say it's a hazard. Oh, black girl magic.
My name is Melo and I am a plus size fashion designer. I make clothing for women between the ages of 18 upwards, and my brand, Mobu for Melo, caters for the young modern African woman who is searching for clothing that, number one, fits her, and number two, she can feel comfortable in and she identifies with the clothing as an African woman. The inspiration behind Mobu was the fact that me as a plus size woman, I was finding it very difficult to find clothing that actually fit in stores. And when I did, I just found that the quality of clothing that the stores were making for us was not really up to par, or compared to our counterparts, we were just not being catered for. So I decided to start making clothes for myself, and people started asking me where I got my clothes, and I realized that, well, there's actually a gap in the market for this, and people are actually in need of clothing that they can feel comfortable in and they can feel proud to wear. So I enlisted the help of a few ladies from home, and we just started working from my mother's garage, and that was 2 years ago, and now we are here. I'm making clothing, and I'm hoping that my brand can grow into a brand that is recognized all over the country. I just released a range called Silatsatsi, and the inspiration behind the range was basically how African women are so strong, and we're so beautiful, and we're so resilient, and also we are so defiant because we defy all the norms that society just places on us. And that's what I'm trying to teach people with my brand as well, that just because you're a plus size woman, it doesn't mean that, you know, you cannot look stylish and beautiful and wear clothes that, well, somebody took an effort and they took time to create, you know. And that's what I'm trying to do with my brand. I'm trying to get my brand onto all the fashion weeks of the country, because it's hardly ever an instance where you see plus size models in fashion week in South Africa. And that is so strange to me, because I mean, we live in an African country, and African women, our bodies are not what the fashion industry portrays at this moment. So I'm just trying to make it as real as possible, I guess, you know, using the everyday woman as my model, because it's easier for somebody else to relate to something like that when they look at it on TV or in a magazine. They can relate to someone like that, and they aspire to look. And it's not even like a pipe dream, you know. It's not something that is far-fetched when you look at someone and you can see that this person looks like me, you know. And it kind of like instills confidence as well in women that we are all the same. And this whole media thing that, I don't know, there's like a long distance relationship between media and real life, and I'm trying to just close that.
There's nothing pretty about uninterrupted blackness. Uninterrupted blackness.
So with Mobu by Melo, I'm just trying to bridge the long distance relationship between what the media portrays and what fashion in South Africa at the moment portrays, where you find that you have these unrealistic bodies walking the ramp and unrealistic bodies in our magazines, trying to talk to the everyday woman that cannot relate to what the media is saying, and the media is trying to sell to them, and the products that apparently are supposed to be catering for us. I am just trying to have people look in magazines and see someone that they can relate to, and be able to look at a picture and say, well, I can look like this every day, and it won't take me 2 years in the gym to reach this place. And also, I mean, we can't really overlook the fact that plus size fashion has been the new craze. But I just felt like the creative effort put into the clothing that is made is not really the same compared to what other designers have been doing. A plus size designer will always be labeled as a plus size designer instead of just being a designer. And that is strange to me because we are in Africa and our bodies are not necessarily the same as our Western counterparts, and that is our, what can I say? That's our biggest tool that we can use, and that's our advantage, that we are different from everyone else. Our clothes should look different, how we look and how we make our clothes should obviously be different, but we just seem to be inclined more to copy what the Western world is doing instead of using what we have and making it our own, and making other people want to find out what exactly is this. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to take what we have and capitalize it and put it into a materials thing that we can represent ourselves with, because clothes are the first thing you see when somebody walks into your place. The first thing you look at and you kind of like identify somebody with is how they look like. So as Africans, if you want people to look at you as an African woman, why would you be dressed in something that doesn't define you in any way? And it's not like we don't have the medium to do that. We do, but it's just something that we don't use, and that is my objective with my brand, Mobu by Melo. I started my brand in 2014, just after I graduated varsity, and I didn't have a job. I just had my degree and I was at home trying to figure out life. And I just spent a lot of time with my father, and that's where the name comes from, because my father has this garden that he sits in every day, and he would just teach me about soil and how a lot of things grow from soil. And without soil, we really don't have anything. There's no life without soil. So that's why I named my brand Mobu, because I feel like as Africans, if we let go of who we are as Africans, then we have nothing. We can try and do all the great things in the world, but if we don't stem from the core, then it means nothing. So that's where the name Mobu, which means soil in Sesotho, comes from.
You remind me of a Black Panther. You don't look pretty when you bleed. There's nothing pretty about uninterrupted blackness.
I see Mobu by Melo in the future just being accessible to the everyday South African woman, not being a label that people cannot access. And I see it in all the spaces where the woman goes and shops. For instance, your malls. I'm hoping that in the next 1 or 2 years, I can have my clothes stocked in one of the retail outlets, and the plus size woman does not have to struggle or be embarrassed every time they have to go into a store and shop for something or change into a changing room. And every time they come out of the changing room, it's tears, and feeling sad for themselves. I'm just trying to get it out there, and I'm hoping to do Fashion Week soon. And hopefully we can get it international as well, because there is a call and outcry for plus size clothing internationally as well. And I would like to collaborate with a lot of brands. There's a lot of things. Shoes, plus size women's shoes are not the same as a normal person's shoes, and people don't realize that. Denim, uniform, everyday schoolwear, people struggle. Like, it's just a whole lot, and it's a world on its own that is just being neglected. And I would just like in the future to be able to cater for every person in every sphere of life, because at the end of the day we can't walk around naked. So that's what I'm trying to get at, and I hope I can do that in the next 2 to 5 years.
Black girl magic.
So to get a hold of me and Mobu by Melo, you can just go onto our social media pages. Facebook, it's Mobu by Melo, and on Instagram, it's Mobu underscore by underscore Melo, and you will get my contact details there. My phone number is on there. My email address is on there, and just show us some love and just let us know what else you need and your experiences as a plus size woman, and hopefully we'll just get to work together. I mean, I use the everyday woman as my model. I don't have castings for models. I just use normal people I see on the street. So if you want to be a model or you want clothing, just get in contact with me and we'll take it from there.